What's up guys, Dizzy Nuts here. How you guys doing? Today we're going to be talking about cleaning your DSLR sensor. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to get a kit from Amazon, and this is a kit that it's not expensive, and I am not endorsing it in any way, shape, or form, but this is the one that I got, which is a sensor cleaning kit for the full frame. I'm going to put a link down to below for the crop sensor as well. The only difference of these two kits is the size of the swab that we'll be using. It's actually made a perfect size for the size of the sensor, and what that does, it helps us actually just have to swipe it once without having to start to go into all these little corners and stuff like that. That's the only difference of these two. But again, let's go ahead and dig into clean the sensor of the camera. Let's go. Okay, so here are the components you're going to be using to clean our camera. Now, the first thing that I would always recommend people is make sure you have a nice, clean, flat surface that you can work on. If it's a table, make sure you brush everything off, that there's no surprises. And if you got animals, give it a swipe so that way you don't get no animal hair inside your camera or anything like that. Now, the first thing we're going to do on the camera is actually prepare it for cleaning, and the process that we're going to be doing on this camera is the same for crop sensor as well as full frame cameras. Now, if I take the lens off, I'm going to show you what you can see here. This is where the sensor is. You're going to see it has a protector in front of it. In the case of this camera, which is a full frame mirrorless, it doesn't have the mirror that goes up and down for you to look through the viewfinder, since the viewfinder is electronic. If you have, for example, like a Canon of the Rebel series, you'll know that it has a mirror, which is what makes you be able to look through the viewfinder, and as soon as you press the shutter speed, that mirror comes up, exposes the sensor, and then you'll be able to take your photo. But the process is the same. We're going to go ahead and turn the camera on, and we're going to hit the menu button, and we're going to go here into these settings here, and we're going to go to the yellow wrench, or mustard color if you like to call it, and we're going to go to option number 3, and you're going to see an option there called sensor clean, and you're going to see a couple of options. We're going to hit the option that says clean manually, and what that does, it's actually going to tell us that it's going to expose the sensor and leave it exposed until we turn the camera off. So the camera is going to be on while we're doing all this process. So we're going to hit OK, and as soon as I do that, you're going to see now that the sensor is exposed. It's got no longer the protector in front of it. If you're talking about a crop sensor, it actually lifts up the mirror. First thing we're going to do is actually, once we expose that, we're actually going to come here, we're going to blast a little air into it. Now, I don't recommend you put it directly in there. You don't want to do that, and you want to actually hold your camera downwards like this in case there's any particles. It falls downward. We don't want the particles coming up and falling back into the lens. So I'm just going to hold it up at an angle and in a distance like this. Just a couple blasts. You don't need to do much, and that will remove any particles there. Okay, so now we're going to get our swab, and we're going to only using the swab once. We're not going to be using this multiple times. Once we use it once, we're going to discard it. It's pretty inexpensive. And now this case, this is for the full frame. In case of the crop sensor, you'll see that it's a little smaller, but the process is exactly the same. And we're going to go ahead and put a couple of drops on one side only. Okay, there we go. We got it on one side only. As you can see, the other side does not have it. And we're going to use the side that we put the drops on, and we're going to swipe from one side completely to the other, and make sure you get all the way into the corners. I like to do it sometimes twice, doesn't hurt. And once we do that, we're going to flip it, and we're going to use the dry side to wipe off any excess that we just put onto it. There we go. And you can see now, if you put it like this in an angle, you can see that our sensor is squeaky clean and ready to go. Another thing that I like to do, if you get with the side that is wet, is to clean the contacts here. It doesn't hurt. Make sure those contacts are nice and clean, this is usually the part that have the most dirt on it, because it's what, we're changing lenses all the time. There we go. And you can see how it's got a little dirt here. We're going to go ahead and put this lens back on. And of course, just to make sure everything's good, we're going to turn it off so it could protect the sensor again. And turn it back on, and we're going to take a couple of shots to see if it works. And we know it's good. And there you go. That's how you clean the sensor of your camera. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If this is the first time watching these videos, my name is Dizzy Nuts, and I do these types of photography videos related to parks, Disney photography, and all that other fun stuff. That way we can both together improve on your photography. If you like what you saw, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and to comment below. That way we keep these videos flowing. Until then guys, stay awesome. See ya.